Can a nation spend nearly $500 billion on a single high-speed rail project? Yes, there is only one nation, and you are aware of it. However, you might be shocked to learn the grand tale of creating the greatest high-speed railway network in the world with an $18 trillion GDP in 2022. The second largest economy in the world is that of China. China was never anticipated to achieve this level in 2000. It left several nations, notably Germany and Japan, economically behind in less than 10 years. China established itself as an economic leader and a role model for many developing nations, persuading other nations to recognize China's significance to the global economy. The railway system in China was essential. China has now surpassed all other nations in terms of railway lines. More than any other nation, it has invested in developing its railroad. China has now chosen to invest 480 billion yuan in the construction of the longest high-speed railway in the world. In this video, we'll discuss China's plans to build the first-ever high-speed railway by 2025. We will also talk about the benefits of this railway and why China is investing 0.5 trillion on it. Subscribe to this channel now to witness the most alarming world projects before we continue. Let's get going. The greatest railway network in the world is in China, and if other nations want to compete with China, it will take them decades to catch up. Along with developing its car industry, China has also concentrated on developing its railway system through projects like the Belt and Road Project and other trades. China has established railroads in several nations. China is the nation that comes to mind when considering a nation with advanced technology for building railroads. In recent years, both China's rivals and friends have come to terms with the fact that China is unbeatable in the railway industry. But it wasn't the case. China wanted to advance despite having the greatest railway network in the world, which is unusual. From a starting speed of 350 kilometers per hour, its high-speed rail has increased to 600 kilometers per hour. One of the few nations with maglev trains is China. China has a history of setting records, and this time the country has chosen to surpass itself by building the longest high-speed railway in the world. China's rivals' focus is on it as long as it keeps putting out new initiatives that will aid in their political and economic development. But the rest of the world is constantly ready to see new advancements. This time, China made the decision to build a 2,300-dam high-speed railway. China was the center of the entire world's attention after this declaration. The Bohai High-Speed Railway is the name of this upcoming high-speed railroad. This 350 km/h north-south high-speed rail line will travel through Inner Mongolia, Shaanxi, Chongqing, Guangzhou, Wanchai, Guangdong, and Hainan. 80 stations spread throughout 7 provinces and cities. The Hubei Economic Circle, the Guangdong Economic Circle, the Chengdu-Chongqing Economic Circle, the Changing Economic Circle, and the Bibo Gulf Economic Circle will all be connected as well. It will serve around a fourth of China's population in transportation. It is the biggest project ever started in the world, and it will convey a huge number of people. This project is enormous both in terms of duration and in terms of the sum of money required to bring this concept to life. This project cost China 480 billion yuan. Nobody understood the project's benefits when China originally disclosed them, but everyone was certain that it would be if China thought it was significant. Even while this initiative will generate lots of employment, that's not the main goal. The benefits are substantially bigger in reality. But the issue is that building this high-speed rail system is extremely challenging. It is nothing less than a technical wonder because it travels through extremely challenging regions in China. But now the issue is, why did China decide to build this railroad, which is expensive and difficult to build? The question itself contains the solution to this query. China did not give the cities in the north and south much thought as it developed and progressed daily. And because of this, development in certain areas has grown more challenging than in other Chinese cities. These cities were distant from advancing due to their unequal growth. The sole means of connecting the rural areas to the urban centers was the railway. And one of the things China does well is make railroads. It resembles China's go-to development. So why not use railroads instead of investing your time and energy in other areas? The exchange of cultural ideas would be fostered, and economically disadvantaged cities would get assistance as a result. China has also started to modernize cities that are considered to be undeveloped in order to increase tourism, which would ultimately pave the way for further growth. People who live in locations that are not economically developed often have very little opportunity for progress. The benefits are only accrued to the big urban centers. Nonetheless, China has decided to take a neutral stance in this conflict. The construction of this railroad will mark the beginning of an effort to make life more convenient for people who live in less developed regions. The majority of people in China travel by train. Thus, cities in China that do not have railways are having a difficult time surviving. Because of this, even if the new railway was difficult to construct, it would make a major difference in the lives of people living in China. Will there be any opportunity for China to make a profit from this investment? This solution to the problem, which involves constructing a high-speed train with more than 80 stations, is rather basic. In the next 20 years, China will have no problem earning $480 million. Not only will the economy benefit from the construction of this railway, but also urban growth. Because of the complexity of the task at hand, the deadline for this project keeps getting pushed back, despite the fact that it was started in 2016. It is projected that the project will be completed in the year 2025, at which point China would become the first nation to own the world's longest high-speed rail line. The construction of this ultra-high-speed train will be to China's political benefit. Therefore, this railway needs to comply with the standards. The real product must also be able to withstand any and all temperature changes because it must travel across a variety of mountain ranges. Not only does China have the longest railway network in the world, but it also has high standards for the networks it uses. If you assume that China is unable to create a railroad of this magnitude, you are making an incorrect assumption. In the past, China has faced a number of challenges that are comparable to this one. As a direct consequence of this, its physical infrastructure is often regarded as being among the best in the world. In the process of constructing the educational high-speed rail in the Kendling area, China ran into several difficulties with height. In addition, China has had issues with sand and wind during the construction of the Qinghai-Tibet Railway. Consequently, there is nothing novel about this. They are equipped with the knowledge necessary to solve any problems that may occur. The Chinese crew completed the building project by dividing it up into 10 separate sections. They are making steady progress toward their goal. By 2025, the construction of the railway will be done, and it will be open to the public. Do you think that this new railroad will cause its competitors to become enraged? How might China gain from something like this? Leave your comments in the comment space below. Is there a return on the money spent on it? Do you believe China will profit economically from having the world's first high-speed rail system? Will it only benefit them politically, or what? Thanks for watching. Click on this video to watch about another shocking project.